Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters. Going to be checking out an awesome PvT here today. So let's start off by introducing our players. So at the top left side of the map, it is going to be Mr. SOS. He is 20 years old. He is from South Korea and he plays for the Jin Air Green Wings team. And yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, just looking at that team name, it seems like there's a little bit too many words. I mean, it doesn't have that sharpness. But then again, I don't know, man. I'm sure that name is suitably awesome. And I'm not going to get myself in trouble again. So let's move on to Mr. ForGG, who has a much shorter team name. He is 24 years old, from South Korea. And he plays for the Millennium team, which is actually interesting because... Oh, excuse me. He is basically SOS. It's from the Jin Air Green Wings team. 4 words with 4 syllables. And ForGG is from the Millennium team, which still has 4 syllables, but it's all packed in 1 word. So maybe I shouldn't be trying to bag Jin Air because their name is still pretty snappy, but it's just split into a lot of words. Whereas ForGG is from Millennium. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just one of those things, you know what I mean? Anyway, we've got a single barracks into command center build for ForGG going on. That's going to be annoying to say every time I try and say for ForGG, so I'm going to try not to say that, but yeah, these things sort of happen. SOS going for his own Nexus a little bit behind, but he does have a cyber core up already, so that means he can get out all sorts of funky stuff like a mothership core. And yeah, Mothership Core is going to be very, very awesome. So we're looking forward to seeing what he does with that. He does actually have a fast Reaper coming out for ForGG. And the Mothership Core is going to be able to scare them away, but not before killing a single probe. I know he actually got 2 probes there. So Mr. ForGG starting off very nicely. SOS is still in the lead in terms of these things coming down the chrono boost, but with 2 workers being lost, I mean, that's a very, very nice start for a Reaper. Usually you don't get that much, but ooh, can he sneak in the side here without SOS realizing? I do not know. I think SOS probably... No, he hasn't realized it yet, so there we go. I think another worker should be able to be killed. Oh, he's going to try and trap it there. Not quite, and the Reaper actually ducks around, manages to kill the worker, and manages to get out again. So that Reaper with some insane micro and might be able to kill another worker. Oh yes, it did. 4 workers total having been lost already. ForGG has lost a Reaper though, and he lost a worker at some point as well. I'm not sure how that happened, but does have a bunch of Marines out. The Stargate coming out, so it's going to be a fast Oracle for SOS. Maybe Phoenix, but I would guess an Oracle coming out. There we go. And the Marines just jumping out. Probably will be a bunker following it up. We do have a Starport coming out. And doesn't look like the Starport is for anything fancy though. Looks like it's just going to be some of this stuff. Maybe Banshees, but he would have built a tech lab already if he was going for Banshees. So he's just going for some very, very fast Triple M Widow Mine tech sort of stuff. So he's going for fast stuff. Oh, boom. That guy did not stand a chance. So the very early Widow Mine paying off in a very, very big way. And the first Stalker to try and breach the Terran base just got completely obliterated. So very, very nice stuff. And he's going to be pulling back, actually a little bit wary of the Oracles. He's going to be pulling over there. Does he have another one to deal with this side of the base? Yes, he does. Widow Mine right there. And this Oracle is in for a surprise. It's not going for the normal workers though. It is going for I don't know what, but obviously deciding that the main way in is not the way to go. And deciding that the edges, where the Widow Mines are, is a bit of a scary place to try and go. But in the middle there are a bunch of Marines, so might be able to kill a couple of guys here. There we go, 2 workers going down. And the Widow Mine finishing it off, but it was pretty much dead at that point anyway. So I gotta say, nice work to SOS going straight through the middle and then hitting the workers, not going on the edges. He must have guessed there were going to be Widow Mines guarding the edges, especially after his Stalker got destroyed by that beautiful Widow Mine hit. But ForGG going to continue on, building a ton of Marines, building a ton of everything else, doing some great stuff here. And yeah, he's definitely got his tech on the way, as well as an AFK worker who definitely needs to get off his lazy ass. Meanwhile, SOS has been pumping out the Phoenix. It's going to be pretty good for what? I don't know, man. They're going to be good for picking up workers if they manage to get in the back of the base. They're also going to be good at sniping medevacs, but against a triple M force, I don't know, man. Other than sniping medevacs, not that good at too much. I mean, Marines will just start shredding them, and I mean, fighting Marines with Phoenix is kind of like fighting Lings with Phoenix. There's just too many of them. It's really not worth your time, and you just take so much damage. Well, except with the Lings, you don't take any damage, but you know what I mean. There's just too many small units are not good for a Phoenix to be throwing themselves against. But it looks like SOS is going to be knocking out the gate tech, getting 3 more gates coming out. Or 2 more now, but he's also got the Twilight Council. Zealot legs coming out. Oh, look at the drop. The Widow Mine's going to be instantly burrowed. And the main army is not going to want to go anywhere near this. But 3 workers actually coming in. Oh, beautiful job there. Absolutely phenomenally good job there by SOS. If you just missed it, he warped a Zealot into here. And the Widow Mines attacked it. And the splash damage killed all of the Marines, man. Brilliant, brilliant play by SOS. That is the sort of play that makes you a Grandmaster, man. That is the sort of play that is a cut above the rest as far as Masters level go. I mean, there's a ton of Masters level plays out there, but there are only a few which have that sort of thinking, which can pull off that sort of crazy stuff and actually make it work. So great job there. Bunch of Phoenix coming in. No missile turrets I can see. So the Phoenix can go for nuts on the workers. They're choosing instead to fly over a group of Marines. Not the best decision there. One Phoenix does go down. The other one's trying to juke away from it. Maybe trying to catch the errant medevacs from this army. Not really seeing them though. And ForGG just pushing out with many more forces. Do we have any missile turrets? No missile turrets anywhere. So yes, I mean, ForGG, his bases are really, really open to the Phoenix fire. But here we go, going in some nice stim micro. Trying to get some stuff done. Does lose a couple of medevacs, I think. Mainly to that Nexus fire. So didn't work out that well. Finally getting the cannon up. Finally lifting up the Widow Mines. Obviously they did a couple more hits on things. So not the best of positions for SOS to have been in. But he finally got rid of those pesky Widow Mines. And now he is cooking up the Storms. Going to be hitting out with a High Templar. Zealot coming across, does not see a third base, so he's going to be happy about that. Here we go, the Marines defending the medevacs. Medevac sniping is the name of the game when it comes to Phoenix in this battle. We do have the 3rd command center being morphed into an orbital, so it's going to be moving over there fairly soon. And ForGG, man, he's got to be watching his medevacs every single second because they are going to be sniped all over the place. And here we go, he's actually pumping out an Archon first of all. It's a beautiful storm going on, chasing the Marines away. I don't know if it's going to be a smart idea to engage, but they go in anyway. And if the Archon gets in range, man, this is going to start tearing these guys up. Manages to snipe the cannon. Can he get the Nexus though? Can he get all these Zealots? I don't know. The Zealots have speed. That's going to be hard for them to deal with that. The Marines doing an excellent job of stimming and running. But they are so low on health, and the medevacs are so low on health from all of those Phoenix hits. They are ready to just fall apart right here. The Phoenix going to be flying out, maybe going to try and loop around, hit these medevacs. No, they're just going to be flying back to a defensive position. And here we go, the command center moving out into this position, which is a little bit safer, as well as not being where SOS is expecting him to go. So that's going to be good. Moving out with the ground army as well. He's got a couple more Archons. And obviously he feels like Archons are going to be the way to kill all of those Marines. And also, Archons are going to be good at pumping up the Phoenix tactic, basically. He's been sniping medevacs, knocking them down, and the Archons are going to be great at finishing off the medevacs, because he's not got a bunch of Stalkers, too many Stalkers, but the Archons should be able to hit anti-air and shred the Marines at the same time. So great job here. The Zealot running in. The Zealot does not see the 3rd command center, because it's already moved out. So SOS, man, he's got to be a little bit worried. He's got to be like, there must be either a 3rd base on the way or already built, so where the hell is it? And he's probably going to start guessing that he needs to check out this location, but who knows when that's going to happen. The High Templar coming out, gets sniped before it gets a storm off. Great play there by ForGG. This other one doesn't quite have enough energy for a storm, So, cannot storm yet. Here we go. Medevacs coming in. The Phoenix. Oh, beautiful job there by SOS. Beautiful, beautiful play. It's going to have to drop everything down. It's mainly Marauders and Hellbats, actually, so not much that can really harass the Phoenix, but that drop has definitely been scouted, and a bunch more Phoenix cannons, all that sort of stuff, going to be taken care of. Zealot's going to try an incursion. Going to get knocked away by a small force. I thought that SOS was going to go for the third base here. Decided not to, though. Decided to pull back, and the pylon is going to get taken out. The Zealots are still just jinking around here, waiting for the third base to come down. Here we go. Single Phoenix going to be doing a scout. Sees the third base, and there we go. The jig is up. SOS knows where the third base is right now, and look at the army coming on in. He's even got an Immortal for the emerging Marauder and Hellbat forces, which are coming out at a very decent rate, man. He's got a lot of Hellbats, which is a great idea because there are so many Zealots on the map. SOS has just got nuts on the Zealots. He's got Zealot speed. So Hellbats, quite an effective counter to the Zealots. And really, it's a great idea for 4GG to be pumping them out. So here we go. The drop's coming in again. The Phoenix still patrolling, so I don't think that's going to go anywhere unless they can just speed on through and drop and just leave the Phoenix chasing them. I think that's going to be 4GG's idea. He's running in, and oh, look at the high Templars. Are they going to get some feedbacks off? Oh, look at the beautiful feedbacks. Managed to get some forces off, but the main force is still getting down. They'll do a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, the main army coming down here. Nice Storm managed to dodge most of it, and oh, there we go. Is it going to happen here? It looks like Force Field's trapping some units. 4GG does not want to run his entire force up the ramp and get stormed on top of the ramp, but he cannot pull SOS into a better engagement. Manages to hold the top of the ramp. Meanwhile, his forces didn't really manage to kill too much, and they did eventually get taken out with no medevac support. That's probably to be expected. And here we go. He's moving in with the main army. He has a good idea there's a third base here, but this is a major bottleneck, and storms are going to be such a nasty thing over here. So 4GG choosing not to run his entire army into that gap. He'd do a lot better to take out these rocks and then push through. A couple of Zealots coming down. They see a fourth base actually, and they choose to ignore it because they're not being microed correctly. But anyway, they are going to take this out. The other Zealot coming into this base. Main army is gearing up to attack again. See a bunch of Archons at the front. The Hellbats do not want to engage. He's actually going for a bit of a flank here, but with the main army down on the lower ground, that's not a good idea. Finally, the Hellbats shaking out those Zealots, and this small army going to be taking out the Phoenix, or at least trying to. And so far, both players have been a little bit timid as far as just a full-on engagement, although SOS doesn't look like he's being timid anymore. He's got the Colossus out. He's going to be trying to take out this army. Maybe he has a good idea that this is not the main army, it's just a small group. They are going to be running in. He's got some Zealots coming over to try and defend, but the dropships turn around and just going to be dropping down here. Maybe you're going to be picking up the rest of these forces, but these guys, I don't know, man. Maybe SOS thinks there's a bigger army over here, because if he knew how many forces there really were, he would just go in and just absolutely annihilate them. Let's have a look at the upgrades for a sec. We've got 3 armor, and we got 2 for 4GG, as well as 1 weapons for his Widow Mine / Hellbats. And the 3 armor, man, really does favor this Zealot play quite a lot, because the Zealots, they always do enough damage. Damage is not a problem. The problem is getting in range. So having 3 armor allows them to last so much longer, and since there's so many of them, it really does do a phenomenal amount of damage. So it's one of those things, if you're playing as Protoss and you're going for heavy Stalker play, then going for 3 attack really helps you out early, as well as if you're going for Immortal play. If you're going for Zealots, the armor is the way to go. The armor gives you the advantage. It allows the Zealots to last a lot longer, and then they get in close to range, and they do all sorts of awesome stuff in there. There we go. Looks like he's going to pick it up and run out of there. Managed to snipe the Nexus over there. That's a good job. Can he snipe this Nexus? It's not looking good. He's not really controlling his forces properly to snipe the Nexus. And looks like he's just going to be getting the hell out of there. So, bunch of Hellbats always get left behind, man. They are so slow, they are so dodgy, but wow, 4GG, man, he's spaced his forces out a little bit. He's taking a little bit too much damage. I don't know if he can save this base right here. He's going to try and drop, maybe no, he's just getting out of there. Saves most of the workers. And that's good. Going to try and save the orbital command as well. This would be amazing. He saved all the workers. If he can save the orbital command as well, then he basically just fly in here after SOS leaves. and it's all beautiful. Here he goes, the main army coming in. He's finally managed to get some Vikings up to counter the Colossus. One Colossus goes down, the other two just going to back off for a second. And the Hellbats moving out in the front, going to be trying to harass the Zealots, see how much damage they can do to them. And yeah, are we up to 3-3 yet? We are not yet. We haven't got 3 armor. We got 3 weapons though. The command center flying on back. That was not a good idea. This army hadn't gone in. And the command center does go down. But of course, ForGG, as we know, does have the 4th base down the bottom left side of the map. So as far as the income goes, he is going to be fine. In fact, he is going to be spectacular. And right now, SOS only just getting his 3rd base up. So his income is going to spike up again, but for a long while, man, he was suffering quite badly. So, yeah, I mean, ForGG sniping this 3rd base, really, really good stuff, and that is definitely not going to favour SOS in the long run. But he's got his 3rd base back up, he's got a 4th base on the way, and that is going to be what it takes to get back into this. And if he can play 4 base against the 3 bases of ForGG and keep ForGG from getting a 4th base, is going to be awesome, because right now SOS has a very, very scary army. He's been throwing his weight around a lot, and ForGG has never really bloodied his nose quite effectively. He's never really gone in and just taken out a lot of SOS's forces. He's kind of just been falling back, doing guerrilla tactics. He's going to try and engage here, but with the storms and all that sort of stuff, ForGG taking a lot of damage. He has done what he thinks he needs to do though. The Vikings doing a great job at taking out the Colossus, and ForGG's got enough units where he's actually pushed back. He has not just been hitting a little bit and then fading back, hit and fade back, hit and fade back. He's been doing that all game, but in that particular battle we saw him just go for it. He sniped the Colossus really, really fast and managed to snipe the High Templars. He soaked up the storm damage and managed to force SOS back, which we have not really seen so far in this game. My god, I need a drink. Excuse me for a sec. So yes, with that small economic victory before, sniping the 3rd base, ForGG may have the advantage right here. We'll see if he can continue to push it out. I mean, worker-wise, he's 8 ahead. Army-wise, he's quite a bit ahead. He's 30 ahead total, so that's like at least 20 army or something like that. And he's got the upgrades as well. He's got 3-2 going off against the Protoss player, which is 2-3, so it's approximately equal. Bunch of Colossus coming out, and there are only 3 Vikings in this army, so ForGG needs to pump up those Viking numbers again. He lost a few of them, but I guess he's not building them because he's not expecting SOS to go for Colossus, but yeah, I mean, that might, you know, I mean, the SOS is going for Colossus, so that's something that he's going to have to deal with. And right now he's just keeping the 4th base down, getting his own 4th base out, making sure that SOS does not get a 4th base, keeping the economy on his side. And now he's starting to pump out some Vikings, so he's realised Colossus are still a threat, and great idea. He's going to go for a drop on the other side of the map. SOS, I think he saw that. There we go, the full army moving back. Oh, and there we go, this force moving back. So SOS being split in 2. Going to try and defend here. A bunch of these guys going to be defending those things away. Did he manage to get a Colossus? I'm not sure. I don't think he did. I don't think those Vikings got a Colossus, but man, he does need some more Vikings on the field right now. He's got 5. He's just built 2 more. He needs some more, but unfortunately, no supply left, so he's going to have to start trading. And without that many Vikings, I don't feel like he's going to be trading favorably. I feel like he's going to be losing quite a bit. Maybe he's sacking these guys? It doesn't look like it. It looks like he was trying to snipe something, but he's drawing the army out and the main army going back in here. But SOS is going to peel off. He's going to go up to this high ground. And ForGG spread a little bit thin. He could take quite a few losses here. His army is not in the best position. He's going to try and form a concave here. Try and make it work. But he does not have the Viking numbers. And the Colossus are going nuts. And with the storms on top of the Colossus, ForGG taking a disastrous, absolutely disastrous loss in that engagement. And SOS suddenly back in the driver's seat for this game. He's going to push on. He's going to try and take out this 4th base. I don't know what ForGG can do. And there we go. Gives the GG. So ForGG, man, doing a bit of a gamble there. He had that small Marauder force drawing out the main army. He was thinking to sneak his main army past and attack the 3rd base again. But SOS, I don't know how he knew it, but he split off. He moved his main army up there. Got a great engagement on 4G. And managed to do it. And I mean, ForGG was going for a snipe. He was going for the third base snipe. He was no intention of actually engaging the main army because he didn't have the Viking numbers to do it. And he ended up being engaged. He ended up with his army spread out, single file. SOS hit him from the side, and it was just, it was so good, man. ForGG managed to sort of sculpt out a concave, but even throwing a concave of Marauders against a Colossus, man, it doesn't help you. It does not do anything. So SOS just shredded everything. ForGG didn't have the Viking numbers, ended up going down, and his fourth base was about to go down as well. And there we go. ForGG gave the GG, and SOS took that game away. So congratulations to him. He was in a bit of trouble for a fair portion of the game. It was very much to and fro, with ForGG doing a lot of good stuff, sniping the third base, absolutely beautiful. But in the end, SOS taking out the victory with that brilliant move right over here, just peeling away from the diversionary force, coming over and hitting ForGG from the side. Beautiful strategy, beautiful tactics. And that has been this game. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow. We will be checking out another one. This has been Hairy Muppet. Now I hope you enjoyed this game.